Um, Hello. It is October 26th, 11:25 p.m. and I'm doing another cast for my thread in dota2castit for username Dorn. Okay, I have no idea what this guy's name is. Dorn Roosj underscore Gertz. He's the Kunkka this game, and I'm doing another cast for some echo there. Quickly save the stream right. This is a 2100 MMR game? No, it's not, actually. This one, he doesn't say the MMR. He wants some critique on his movement and positioning, and he does spoil it a little bit by saying he had a good game. So, and my favorite hero is Kunkka, like, by far, and I've played him quite a bit, so, I have a lot to say about him. I'm looking forward to a fun game and flaming this guy endlessly for all his mistakes, right?
Templar Assassin.
Alright, looks like it's going to be a mid Kunkka versus either an Ember or Templar, having skipped all the way through the draft. Assuming that the Kunkka's on Radiant side, right? Oh, here's his name, Doran Roosj. Sounds somewhat European. Not exactly sure. Alright. So yeah, looks like, I don't know if he goes mid. Oh, here's my fantastic Kunkka build in general. Generally the items you want to go for. Okay, he's going mid. This is a pretty good build. Sometimes you want to south, depending on the heroes you're playing against, or if you're expected to get ganked. And because he's a pretty bulky hero, 700 HP, only 2 armor, but 700 HP, and if you know what you're doing, you can avoid certain ganks, but I think he'll be okay here. He doesn't need the south. 3 mid heroes on the other team member, TA Storm. All matchups, the worst matchup here, probably between the Ember or the Storm. And he's moving his mouse around. He's wondering the same thing. Who's going where? He doesn't know what's happening. It looks like it's going to be the Storm. Overload fucks around with Kunkka a lot. In fact, they're similar heroes like that. They sort of have this passive ability that augments their right clicks, right? Except that Storm's is mana reliant, and Kunkka's isn't. It's cooldown reliant, with cooldown getting better and better. But it's pretty wacky at level 1, 13 seconds. It's going to be interesting how he plays this matchup. It's certainly winnable, because Storm is a rather fragile hero, and with a few denies and the way they changed denies for like range creep, it's now 50% experience instead of a set amount. I think it's like 35. So you get less experience now from the denied range creep, which is pretty big. I don't think you get level 2 off of one creep wave anymore. I'm not sure if you did before. I wasn't sure of numbers. I don't really play mid that often anymore. Even as Kunkka, I usually just run around some lane or support something. Yeah, this is probably European server, because I haven't seen a Russian in US East in a long time. Kunkka laying down, speak English, smack talk, right? Storm starting out, did he random? Yeah, he random started out with this. I don't know. He's got, Storm has pretty good base damage, I guess, 52. So it's better to just, maybe just get an extra 50 base damage, I guess. So you could start with tangos instead of this, and just save your bottle for mana, for using your mana, instead of saving it for both of your health. Because sometimes you're not going to be taking harass, and you don't want to use a bottle charge unless you're both low on health and mana. Unless you know you're refilling or you're refilling or whatever. So the Gauntlet of Strength here is just to build into either Quick Brace or Quick Earn. I think Earn's pretty good on Kunkka. You don't have to get it. I think it's better to get it when you're not middle, or if you're not getting a bottle. So I think you can get a bottle nearly every situation now, depending on, even no matter the lane. I mean, sorry.
Where'd that horn come from?
So this
A
she's
mysterious
gonna go top.
force.
Safe lane farming and off lane Ember. Off lane Ember is kind of greedy. against a Veno Spectre. It might not be the worst thing. It's in dual lane, so it'll be okay. But if we're focusing on the Kunkka, pretty good block. But Dire has the natural block advantage, so if the both heroes block it just as well as each other, like they mirror each other's movement, it's always going to end up slightly on Dire's favor. Love the CS chart here. I'm not sure what MMR this is, but that was not a very efficient use of his mana, but I guess he doesn't care because he's on the bottle, right? He bought some Tangos, or actually he's buying more branches, come on. But he's spending a lot of time in the shop when he should be trying to pull this quick wave into his favor. Nice and easy CS for the Kunkka. Level 2 it'll start to change, depending on the harass, but the lane's already on Kunkka's side, right? So Storm Spirit can't really get reliable harass onto the Kunkka, which he wants to start doing as early as possible to start draining through that 700 HP. Otherwise, he's going to get chunked down by Tidebringer, which ignores armor. So that 5 armor, which is usually a good thing for heroes mid, a really good thing to have, is actually doing nothing for him. Now the wave is going to start to push, which is good for Kunkka. Well, if he wants it to start pushing, he should. So that he can maybe secure the 2-minute rune, which is going to be coming up. It's going to start to push there. You can get that last rune, it's okay. He's probably not going to go for the rune. The Storm probably is. He hasn't followed up. Don't not harass Tidebringer. I'm not going to really complain about missing Tidebringers. It's always, like, wacky and lame. You might see the cast animation, canceling it. I know Attacker's really... The Attacker's probably the best person I've seen to do, sort of faking out torrents, catching heroes off guard. He's really good at predicting the other mid's movements. And it's generally harder to hit torrents on targets like this that are focused on you, because they have erratic movement, right? They're moving side to side, up and down, left and right, versus torrents in teamfights where usually people are tunnel vision onto a single hero, moving in a straight line at a hero, or moving away, running away for their lives, etc. So, Kunkka's winning the lane by 2 CS. Actually, hold on. This, okay, see? Storm Spirit got a good haste stream, and now he's just gonna shit on top lane. With nothing but, he leveled Vortex early. I know some people don't like getting it this early, but, it paid off for him. Kunkka can't really help. He shouldn't have left the lane. He should have stayed and kept left hitting. He could have got an extra, like, maybe 1-2 CS there, without, and then denied. This Storm Spirit's gonna get these two creeps experience that he probably wouldn't get. I mean, it's kind of silly to be talking about that now after he got a kill, but it's not the worst. I was gonna say that despite the CS being really close before the Storm left, that Kunkka was in the lead just based on how the lane was positioned, and that he's getting a lot more CS in this normally unfavorable matchup. Basically, what you do is you push the lane up, right? You have the lane pushing up, so that when the other mid goes to get a rune, you're punishing him for it. He's going to be missing on creep experience because your creature should be dying to the tower, and he'll be getting his tower. You know, he'll be getting tower damage, which there's been some small little chip, 70 damage, 69 damage. Sometimes his bottle, and he's pretty good here. About to kill this, maybe? This is definitely killable. There, yeah. It's pretty hard to predict that, because the Storm can just walk straight back, and you might want to torrent here, or he can just curl around the tower, in which case it's hard to get an angle, so you'd have to torrent here, here. If you try to torrent directly under the tower, it might not clip him, because you only have to move like an inch away from the tower. So it's pretty close. Kunkka gets a double damage rune. Huge potential. Basically, what he wants to do is get one more Tidebringer onto the... 1 or 2 more Tidebringers normal, right? To get Doc down to a low amount. He's not going to have regen. He's going to have to bottle throw, which is going to be a while, right? Then from there, activate double damage with a 3rd Tidebringer and get the kill, if he doesn't land a turret. He went for the rather, like, the greedier build, which is Tidebringer into torrent. But this is him just trying to win the lane. He's not trying to move around and set up kills. It's more of a farming Kunkka than it is a killing Kunkka. Killing Kunkka, you want to get 2 points in X as soon as possible. Usually maybe 2-1-2. I mean, definitely killable. Oh, is he still gonna kill him? Yeah. Yeah, that range there. Pretty good. That double damage secured the kill. But despite the kill that Storm Spirit's got, Kunkka did get level 6 before him, which is pretty big. Whoever gets level 6 first has all the kill potential in this matchup. If you know, basically, if it was me, my skill build would all depend on whether or not I had the experience lead with the Storm Spirit. If I have the experience lead, then I can go for the X combo and just X him right away at level 6. Otherwise, you kind of have to go for this max farming build and then play really passive if he gets to level 6. And just try to harass him down and force him to play really, really defensive. The full combo for Kunkka is, well, he doesn't even have X, right? We don't need to talk about it. Right now, he only needs 270 mana for a full combo. He's probably dead here with Storm Spirit. Ooh. Storm Spirit's dead. You follow with the haste rune. You could bottle it yourself up and then just chase. You used 2 bottle charges at once, I think, by accident. Or it might have lagged or something. You gave yourself both buff, now just run him down. Okay, you should be clicking on him and knowing that he has no mana. He did tread switch, which is pretty good. Storm should have tried to deny himself, but it's okay. You probably could kill... maybe not. Better to get out. The haste rune is about to wear off, and then you win stuff without a TP. And then it's a fun little fight to watch. Sunstrike? 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 Question mark? Sunstrike right here? Sunstrike right here? I here, not there. Guy's got no boots, he's slow. TA misses the Melt Strike. Here comes Storm though, wasting all his mana in 2 jumps. The double torrent to save Troll. That was a really good torrent, by the way. Got phase boots. Really good. Okay, so revolving door time. The TA is now middle. Oh, he said that he got flamed for missing an SS call. This is when the Storm got the haste rune and went back. There's literally like nothing they could have done. They were gonna die either way because it was a haste rune. It's like SS and it's like okay, and then all of a sudden there's a hasted Storm diving to tier 1. Yeah, the SS call would have really helped you there, bro. I'm sure. Anyway, Invis rune on the Kunkka. Go to net worth now because CS is easily won by the Kunkka because the Storm has been not very efficient with any of his laning. Now, what I would have done here is probably max out Sidebringer, right? If you're gonna go max Sidebringer, you go max Sidebringer. But then you can leave 2 points in Torrent and then just start maxing out X. And start getting X up as soon as you can. Go back to camera perspective. I don't have the right camera settings, I've realized, for actually casting. So it's kind of annoying to see the camera jumping everywhere.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So, Kunkka builds from here vary. You can go Urn, you can go Drums. By now I would have already started buying the Bracer, just for the extra stats. Right now, there's not much, you don't have much ganking potential, I think, against, at least against the Storm and the Ember, right? You need to catch the Elder Titan, who's also pretty mobile. The Shadow Demon is also hard to kill, and Tia has Refraction. Refraction, though, it's, okay, so, the way Torrent works is its damage is done in multiple instances, right? Okay, TA is actually dead here. He's backed up to get the boat off. You should have torrented and then... well, you wouldn't have... yeah, you could have maned up. You need to mana up and torrent right there. But it's okay, you're getting the kill to your troll, I guess. There's Storm Spirit getting a kill with the Shadow Demon and Ember. That's a pretty potent killing combo on any hero. and maybe kill the Spectre. I'm not gonna TP down there because I have to change my camera. Not TP, but move my camera. But yeah, Torrent, the way it works is the damage is split into two, more or less. The half the damage is done in one big instance on the way up, and then it's done in multiple instances on the way down the other half of the damage. So it's one big chunk and then multiple little chunks of damage, which makes it really good against TA if you can land it. So if you're landing against the TA, don't bother with Tidebringer because she's really good against single high target burst damage with Fraction. You'll want to level X in Torrent. Get one in Tidebringer. The downside with that is that it slows down sort of your early mid-ish game farm up until your levels catch up. But it does help you in team fights. So against earlier aggression, you definitely want to go 2-1-2, I feel, and then get Boat. Boat's not gonna hit. Oh, actually did hit me. It was really good. Now this is where Kunkka's kind of awkward, right? You're out of spells, and you just gotta like run around and just really use your right clicks. Movement and positioning is really good on important on Kunkka because he doesn't have any natural mobility besides, I guess, phase boots, right, and maybe jumps. But you don't want to sit there and keep right clicking on a target. You're going to be losing most of those fights unless you're really far ahead with an item or two. So you want to be this sort of guerrilla warfare player. Good X1. Even though it was level 1 X, you just sort of tried to confirm it. Didn't see it. Now the next creep wave is coming. Learning how to use the creep waves to your advantage as a Kunkka is really important. You could have gotten a Tidebringer off. You're not going to get a kill, but it's just damage. A-click is your friend sometimes, because it's going to be hard to click on creeps when aggro's, when there's fights like that and aggro's being pulled everywhere. Sometimes you just gotta A-click. The angle might be off sometimes, but if you're having trouble clicking, it's better to get your damage out fast than it is to get it accurately. With level 1X, generally you have to torrent. You torrent where someone is. Okay, let's say a hero gets slowed or whatever. You torrent where someone is, and then you X them on top of the torrent. This is the way it works. Then at level 2, it's the other way around. You X someone, and then you torrent right on top of the X. For Boat, it's level 3. Oh boy, you guys are getting it. He's out of mana. If he uses mana better, I think he could have got like a triple kill. Ooh, the Desolate damage. Oof. You're going Battle Fury, which used to be a bad build, and then it became a good build again. It's really good for farming, and keeping up your farm, especially if you decide to go the 2-1-2 build. It helps you keep up your farm. This is the greediest overall build for the Kunkka. Otherwise, Drums is pretty. I sometimes get Drums if I can get it like pre-13 minutes. And then I go for the Battle Fury, because usually you can farm it up well enough between team fights and farming stacks. By around 19 minutes if you don't die. Otherwise, getting it any time before 25 minutes, a Battle Fury is really good. Otherwise, you can just sort of convert it into like a Shadow Blade or something. Which has gotten kind of better again, because they increased the bonus damage, but it's still kind of like attackers sort of made popular the Blink Dagger build, which is stuff I used to play around with when I played Kunkka a lot. I don't really play much nowadays. I'm always stuck in the offlane, and he's not the best offlaner. But when I used to play him a lot, I would play around with Blink Dagger. But it's always hard trying to put it into your builds, because sometimes you're going to need a BKB, sometimes you're going to need other items, like your data listers and things like that. I've gotten AC on them, that's why you see them in my build sometimes, like just to help the team, or if it's one of those games where you just need to stand still in a fight and right click things. And yeah, Blink Dagger, it actually gets flamed a lot. I mean, whenever I would buy it, people would just sort of flame you, and it's like, well, why wouldn't I get one? It's sort of necessary. We would just get Shadow Blade. It really helps you control. You become sort of a ghetto Ember Spirit, more or less, right? There's actually 4 heroes in the game that are sort of similar to each other. The Kunkka, and then the 3 other heroes. In terms of, you know, AoE attacks, splash attacks.
Dire's middle tower is
He's gonna
under
get this
attack.
Battlefield actually really fast, which is good. Usually I go for the damage items first, but he is taking the more passive farming route, so getting, I guess, the Ring of Health's okay. He's gonna be making it. You can stack camps from far away. Like if you're farming this camp and you want to stack the camp right just below here, it's at 57.5. You want to torrent it, right? Which you can kind of walk into the trees and you can just barely get the torrent off. I think, I'm not sure exactly. I haven't done it from this camp to this camp. I've done it from the tri camps, and I've done it from the. There's a triple stack you can do from the Dire side. That's really technical in this, right? You need like an IO to cut down the trees and all this other stuff, but that's like never gonna happen in a club game. Maybe in a competitive game, if you see an IO and Kunkka drafted together, which I think might be a good combo. I'm sure you can do some cheesy things with relocated X on yourself, on other targets, things like that. If any team's gonna exploit it, I think it's gonna be Team Secret. They have a pretty good IO player, right? The guy in their account. As a Kunkka, yeah, control the runes all the time. Runes are your friends. They make up for your lack of mobility in general, and sometimes your lack of initiation if you don't have X leveled up. Also, you want to be using your boat as much as often. It's a super short cooldown at every level, 50 seconds. You can use it to save teammates if it's not going to hit anyone. Which in this game, it's really hard to hit people, to be completely honest. Between Ember Spirit, TA, and Storm Spirit. TA is kind of easy to hit, but she has refraction, so she can dodge most of the damage. But Ember and Storm Spirit are super mobile. And if you're having trouble with a Kunkka, the best way to beat him is building mobile items and building wheel scepters. Sick boat, sick damage, he's even double damage. So unfortunately the Storm got away, but it was really close. But they can definitely push this and get it 2-2. And here comes Spectre. She doesn't have enough mana for a dagger, but she still gets it. This is an easy tier 2 push with the heroes that they have. No double Forge Spirits on the... Or maybe one died, I'm not sure. He does have 4 points up in Excellent, unless it's the other element. I don't know. I don't play that hero. So Torrent right. Okay, that was good.
Spoilers. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Does Kunkka level 12 here? Yes, he does. He has a 2 and X, so let's see if he gets the kill. Now, he didn't Torrent. I think he would have landed because the... Oh, they get him anyway. The casual just X and then just keep hitting creeps and let your team catch up. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this earlier, but level 3X is the guaranteed boat. You X someone and then you boat them. You want to X them from max range, is what you want to do. So you have to get the max range X, like they have to be standing right on the edge, like right here, and then you throw the boat. The boat hits on the Shadow Demon. Maybe you clean up. You gotta hit the TA right now. If you hit the TA, you would have gotten the kill. She can't hold you down. They don't have much lockdown. The Storm's Vortex, I think, is on cooldown. So you would just... Ooh, okay, run. Time to run. This is where Kunkka sort of falls off, right? You're not applying any of your damage because you're getting chased. And you have to commit to chasing. It's not like if you're other, you can sort of come back and see it once you day. You need to torrent where you're standing right now. Because he's going to try to melt strike you, right? Which gives you a half second to get that torrent off.
Double kill.
Torrenting in front of you and boating in front of you is super good when you're getting chased like this. I wouldn't fight her. You have really low armor. You only have 3 armor at level 12, right? And she has melt strike. Super hard to deal with. The torrent was on cooldown there. Ooh, risky. I think she fucked up the melt strike there.
Hello.
Thank you. And then, I don't know. That's probably an insult of some sort. He's walking back to base, so. Small break for him. Game too easy, he says. 6-0. A lot of it is the Shadow Demon not coming to fuck his day up. Shadow Demon's pretty good versus Kunkka. Lots of slow, lots of ways to chunk through his HP. Their lanes didn't go well for them at all, Dire side. And I think they could have gone really well. I think Storm Spirit should have won his lane. But he didn't capitalize on the good block he had. And then he didn't apply enough pressure. he actually would have been better off just getting like an Multasm instead of the bottle. That level 1 bottle didn't actually do anything for him. So he's going crit now after Battle Fury. Nowadays, I get the blink after the Battle Fury, just so I have some damage and farming potential. Rushing the blink before any damage item is kind of risky because it doesn't really help you farm. And if you don't get like the very first kill after you get a blink dagger, if you fail that, then it's kind of shitty because everyone's going to be expecting it, and it's going to be harder for the blink dagger to pay itself off in the long run. You never want to be the first man in as a Kunkka. You always want to be sort of like the second or third man in, because it's too easy to lock you down, shut you down. BKB is good on Kunkka, but you don't want it. Here's the boat. Really good boat, actually. You casted it from fog, so they had no real time to react, and it was nighttime too, so their vision was also limited. I don't like casting boats naked like that, but sometimes it works like that when you have the positioning to make it work. So it helps you save mana when you want to use the torrent for a follow-up, instead of using your torrent to initiate, which is usually my style. Get the torrent off and guarantee the boat every time. I've sort of gotten punished. I used to throw boats naked against like things like Murana's, and when Murana was super popular, Murana just sleeps away. Murana is so annoying to play against as a Kunkka. Because she's not the best mid laner, but back when she usually played mid a lot, she could do pretty well against the Kunkka, even though she's pretty fragile. She's a ranged hero. She has a pretty hefty nuke, and she has an escape. So even if you do get the experience advantage on her, you can sort of just leap away, even if you exit correctly. They were chasing, so the boat kind of missed. It's okay though. The full combo, I'll say it now since you have X, the full combo is 280 plus 120. It's about 300 mana. I think it's, I used to have this memorized, I just haven't played it in a while. But basically, 2 branches at any point early is really good, because when you hit level 6, you'll have enough mana for all 3. That's basically my rule of thumb, is just have 2 branches. On most heroes, actually, that have like these limited strips of mana pools, 2 branches is sort of the go-to. Vengeful Spirit's also notorious. 2 branches at level 1 gives you 2 stuns, versus just the 1 stun with her mana pool. Yeah, this game's pretty much won. It was 4v5. The Spectre's just been retard ricing and getting good kills. I guess the Vanguard's sort of justified here, considering she's 6 and 2 can assist. But back to Kunkka gaming. Getting the Crystallis now. Just going all damage. I mean, you haven't died yet, right? You don't exactly need a Blink Dagger. But Blink Dagger just gives you a lot more utility. It really... Kunkka, to be fair, is a pretty one-dimensional hero in terms of item builds, generally. There might be a few variations like the BKB, things like that. But, he doesn't have a whole variety of builds, so